This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.
Hello everybody, it's Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show. I want to give you some encouraging words today in terms of your health walk and what you might be dealing with in your disease. What I have found after promoting health for a long time is people are not as interested in health as they are interested in disease. And somebody said, well, what do you mean by that? And I say, well, disease is the greatest motivator for somebody to do something about their health or their disease. So I could promote health lectures all day long, and it's not everyone that'll come and say, well, I'm going to listen to this health lecture or go to this health lecture. But however, if somebody gets diagnosed with a disease, the next thing they do is they're up there on online looking for information of how to overcome the disease, and thankfully some people will look for natural ways how to overcome this disease. But disease is the thing people want to overcome. So how do we overcome a disease if we've been diagnosed with one? And the first thing you have to come to understand is what created disease, because health doesn't begin with what we add to our diet, it begins with what we leave out. I'm going to say that again. Health doesn't begin with what we add to our diet or even our lifestyle. It begins with what we leave out. Now, I know a lot of us are tempted and excited to add new things, that this is going to get me better, this food or this supplement or this machine is going to help me get better. But if you don't eliminate the things that created the problem, you're going to continuously run back into the same cycle of dealing or having trouble with diseases and discomforts and things like this. So eliminate what's causing the problem. And for most people, from a diet standpoint, it's eating processed food. And I won't necessarily say it's eating some cooked food, but eating a diet that has more dead food than live food is creating a problem. More cooked food than raw food. We need to make sure that at least 75% of our diet is completely raw, ripe, fresh, and preferably organic. We need to be careful to do that. Now, raw is not difficult. I mean, we take time to cook our food. Eating food raw, and fruits and vegetables can be eaten raw. You know, it's funny that people will cook fruits, but they'll cook vegetables, but not cook fruit. They could eat fruit raw. Well, why cook the vegetables? You don't have to cook them. So raw, ripe. This is a big problem today, and this is why one of the reasons why so many people out there, even after attempting to eat a healthy diet, are still sick, because they're not eating or getting the food that's picked ripe. So the food isn't doing to the body what it's supposed to do. It's still making it harder for the body to get the nutrients if they're even in there, because the food is not ripe. The only way, to start assuring the food was picked ripe, well, number one, you could learn about the different stages of the food, but try to go to the grower, and this is why it's important to eat locally if you can and go to local farms and so on, is to find out how they're picking these things. So one of the reasons somebody asked me recently is, why didn't I like fruits and vegetables when I was younger? And my answer was because I wasn't eating ripe food and it tasted terrible. But when you eat a ripe food, the taste is so much better. So raw, ripe, fresh. We want to make sure our food is fresh. If something is picked, as soon as it's picked or cut open, it starts losing its enzymes. And so most of the food in the supermarket that is not locally picked is not fresh, because it was picked unripe somewhere really far away, flown to where you are, and now you're about to consume it. So it's picked unripe and unfresh, and if you're cooking it, it's not raw. So organic might be the only thing you're actually doing or attempting to do. It should be raw, ripe, fresh, and organic. So I want you to consider these different things when we eat our food. At least 75% of them try to get locally grown food that's as fresh as possible. Now, if you don't have the opportunity to grow your own food, one of the things I could suggest is sprouting inside your own house. Sunflower sprouts and things like this is a great way to get a good abundant amount of healthy, fresh greens in your diet that are raw, ripe, fresh, and organic if you do them the right way. So consider sunflower sprouts and buckwheat sprouts and things like this. Juicing is another way to kind of offset what you're doing. So if you have a big plate of just processed food, well, maybe have 2 or 3 green drinks or juices, which would make it a little bit more balancing it out and you're not just eating completely cooked food. Most people will go through a whole day just eating cooked food, not eating anything raw, not anything right, fresh, and organic, and then they wonder why they're not overcoming their diseases and other issues in their life. You want to make sure at least 75% of your diet is raw fruits and vegetables. It's not that difficult to do. If you get a big plate of a meal, just make sure 3 parts of the plate are a salad. It's not that difficult. And then the other thing you are eating, make sure it's not too processed. You don't want to eat processed food too often or too much. So those are some things to consider when we think about eliminating what's creating the problem. We need to eliminate these things that are contributing to our problem. And yes, I am saying processed food and things that aren't raw, right, fresh, or organic contribute to it more than, I don't want to say necessarily anything else, because there could be other influences that contribute to our issues. However, what people are doing consistently the most is eating unripe, unfresh, unorganic fruits and vegetables, if they're even eating the fruits and vegetables. And we're not getting the full benefit as we can from eating these different things. So I want to challenge everybody to try go on a fast, and fasting could mean you're not eating anything, or fasting could mean you're fasting to something. So sometimes people say I go on a water fast, but actually you're not fasting because you're on a water diet, right? Or if juice fast, it's not a really fast, you're on a juice diet. To fast means to do nothing, actually. But I want to encourage everyone to go on a diet of just fruits and vegetables 100% for one whole week, and then back down to like 75 or 80% for the rest of your life. If you want to back down, you'll feel so good on 100%, you want to stay there. But try, really, this is a serious thing. Try to, let's say you're going to start Monday, let's say. You're not going to put any cooked food in your mouth for 7 days, for a whole week. And see how amazing you feel. And you might not even want to go back to 75%. But if you're already doing 75% and you go to 100, that's a significant change. But if you're doing 100% cooked food and you go to at least, and you go for 100% raw for 1 week, at first, you're not going to know what to. At first, you might experience some detoxification symptoms, but eventually you're going to have so much energy, you're not going to know what to do. And you're going to give up your coffee because that's cooked, right? You're going to give up all your processed things. Here's a tip too for those of you that are new to this. Just because it's cold doesn't mean it's raw. Somebody told me a long time ago, is bread raw because it's cold? No. If it comes in a bag, box, container, or can, most likely it shouldn't be in your body. So consider that. If it comes in a bag, box, container, or can, most likely it shouldn't be in your body. But just 100% raw food for a whole week, and see how you food. So some ideas and tips might be some guacamole. You can get, even if you go to eat out, most places have guacamole. You can get that. Salsa is another thing you can get. Just getting an avocado and putting salsa on a guacamole. Salads are wonderful. Just learn how to make salad dressings here on the website. I have a bunch of different recipes for different salad dressings. You could just whip up in a blender and put that over there. Remember, store-bought salad dressings most likely cooked. So get yourself some nuts and some spices and make one of these salad dressings that I have here on the Raw Life Health Show. And do it. Do it for one whole week and let me know your results. And I want to encourage you to do that. And eating 75% raw is pretty simple. And you don't need a measurement to measure it. You just need a plate, and 3/4 of it is raw. So consider that. And let me know what you're going through. And again, if you're dealing with detoxification things, or if you miss something too much, that's a great sign. Maybe you shouldn't be doing what you were doing that you miss. Because that's, in essence, what an addiction is. If you're not thinking about it consistently, so let's say you give up eating rice, let's say, for a whole week. But all you can think of is rice or pizza or meat or something. And you can't wait to eat it again. Well, that might be a little stronghold in your life, or it might be an addiction. And when we look at eliminating things that create problems, these are things you might want to consider eliminating to help yourself start getting better. And maybe you just want to do a juice fast for a week, just fresh juices for a week. Then you're off for the whole week. If you want to eat salads or fruit, then you're raw for the whole week. But try to go 1 week raw. Eliminate the processed food as much as possible. And when you're eliminating the cooked food, you're eliminating a good amount of the processed food as well. And see how you feel. And then if you have questions or comments, I'm here to help you. Post them below the video. And thank you for doing this. And somebody's going to try it. And if you try it and you experience it, you're going to be like me. I couldn't even go back, and it's been over 20 years that I'm still loving eating this way. All right, everybody. So until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Have a blessed day, and have a great raw life.
This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.